Welcome to the J. Roos Theory. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Referees, not just in boxing, but in all sports. You remember the scandal years ago in the NBA where an NBA referee was pretty much talking about corruption going on? Do you know how easy it is for a referee to shape the course of a game, especially in football? That's kind of why it's hard for me to watch football at this point because you see a flag here, a flag there in crucial plays. That dictates the game. I remember my son said something funny. I forget what game it was, but it was like something like the Chargers versus the Raiders featuring the refs. I mean, it's sad to say, but you see this. The Chargers were playing Kansas City years ago, and they just kept calling flag after flag till like they eventually gave it to Kansas City. I'm like, man, this is WWE on grass. And I haven't checked on it, but I believe they say the NFL is registered as sports entertainment like the WWE. So if that's the case, that explains a lot because it's hard to watch an NFL game now because a flag here, a flag there, like I said, on crucial plays dictates who wins the game. So you spend all that time in off-season training camps, working out, lifting weights for the referee to decide where your team goes. And now we see it in boxing. Now, I didn't see the whole Rolly fight. From what I did see, it looked like, I forget the guy Rolly was fighting, but it looked like he was a little bit hurt. And I didn't think it was that bad of a stoppage as people were saying, but, I didn't see the whole fight. From what I understand, people were saying it looked like the other guy was beating Rolly pretty bad the whole fight. And then the first time, he even knocked Rolly down, I understand. And then, excuse me, the first time the other guy gets hurt, they stop it. So that looks kind of shady. And who polices the referees? How do you know they don't just say, well, I'm going to place a bet? Even if they do it under someone else's name, I'm going to place a bet this fighter loses in the fifth. So first time the guy gets slightly hurt, the ref waves it off and collects his check for betting on the fight. Who's policing these referees? As far as the NFL, I know they have a commissioner and all that, and they might even rate the referees. And I think maybe even in boxing, I don't know if each individual, like WBC, WBA, I don't know if they have anything that watches the refs and ranks them. And because I noticed certain refs seem to get the big fights. So there must be some type of system, but apparently it's not good enough. Because like I said, I didn't see this Rolly fight, but people seem pretty livid at the results. And you just hate to see that. Because I understand the opponent was 40-ish or something, and they're saying he'll probably never get another title shot like this again, and he really won the fight, and they should run it back. But for Rolly to get a victory, even, people do have a point because Rolly thought it was stopped prematurely, and even his trainer. But then his trainer was saying something to the effect of, well, do you want to see us to, really hurt the guy bad? But if everybody's saying, and even Rolly, that the fight could have gone a little longer, then the fight should have gone a little longer. Tony Weeks, the referee, I've seen him a lot. I think he's even in the Creed movies or one of them. So I've never seen him to be shady before. So I'm not going to say he's shady. But for so many people to look at this fight that saw it when it happened and have so many feelings about it tells you a lot. And this comes from people that have, pretty credible people in the pugilism community. So somebody's got to police these referees. Back to the NFL, it's becoming unwatchable. Chargers lose to the Jags 27, up 27 points and then lose. I don't even remember if it was the refs that game. I'm sure they had a part to play. But it just seems odd that you can lose a game when you're up 27. You're scoring at will in the first half, second half. You can't get any points. Another topic. But these referees got to chill out, man. There should be consistency. I hate to see one fight go on and on and on, and the guy's, just really swollen up, and then another fight, guy gets barely wobbled and it's waved off. There has to be some consistency. Remember Richard Steele with the Mildred Taylor Chavez fight, Julio Cesar Chavez fight? How there was a couple seconds left in the fight, and I was watching an interview with Jim Lampley. Great interview, by the way. Go check out Broadway Joel. Did a great interview with Jim Lampley, and Jim Lampley was saying how Richard Steele, the referee in that fight, had to have known there was so many seconds left in the fight because a red light lit up, and he had to have known. And Jim Lampley said after that fight, every time Richard Steele was announced, he'd get booed unless, it was a pro Chavez crowd. But Richard Steele never seemed to live that down because, Mildred Taylor was, I guess, winning the fight and got stopped with like 10 seconds left. Like, you couldn't let him, couldn't let it go to the cards. I always say the best referee to me would be Joe Cortez. He seemed to know when to let a fight go and when to stop it. Joe Cortez, to me, was the best ref. Go check his resume. Go check out his fights. Mills Lane was pretty good too. I always liked Joe Cortez though. When I saw he was officiating refereeing a fight, I'd be like, cool. Don't have anything to be concerned with here. But what do you guys think about today's referees in sports in general? NBA, NFL, boxing, MMA. You don't want these refs to be like WWE, where you can bring in a chair and hit somebody, and the ref acts like, "Oh, that's part of the rules." Anyway, this has been the J. Roos Theory. Thank you for watching. Make sure to comment, share, subscribe. LSR forever, and be fearless. Yay.